Joining me also at the moment, Bill Drexel, who's a geopolitical expert, joining me from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Bill. Big questions, Bill. Will there be a trade deal? Because we at the moment are getting mixed signals from the US administration. On one side, they believe India and United States have a strong relationship, but a complicated relationship. On the other side, we have these statements which are now labeling the Russia-Ukraine war as the war of the Prime Minister of our country, Prime Minister Modi.
Yeah, it's a hard question. It's a good question. It's the question of the hour. I think really one thing to bear in mind here is that the parts of the administration that are pursuing the 25% tariffs for the in relation to the Ukraine war, and the part that are pursuing the 25% for the trade deal more broadly, are separate parts of the government using separate rationales and not necessarily as coordinated as it might appear. So I think these are somewhat separable issues. Now, obviously, this most recent statement, again, just reiterates that this administration is very concerned about the situation in Ukraine and is really taking big swings to try to pressure India on this point. But I think that discussion, on some level, is somewhat independent of the broader trade discussion. It seems like the United States is just trying to do two things at the same time with the same country, both of which are difficult and complicated.
Well, a lot of also people are also at the moment saying that these kind of statements which are coming in from the United States of America, this is not India's war. This is not the war where Prime Minister Narendra Modi should be held accountable for. But those are also the kind of statements coming in from the United States of America at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that this is ultimately Putin's war. Putin alone invaded Ukraine. Putin started this. Obviously, I think that the recent statement that you're referring to is very hyperbolic. It's meant to be provocative. It's meant to send a very strong signal of high frustration. I don't think it's meant to be taken literally, but yeah, it is very provocative.
Right, Bill, our colleague Rohit is also with us on the story. Rohit, do you believe that this will severely impact the US relationship with India? Because this is a direct attack which we see coming in, and from someone who's at the top, who's very close to Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, now going ahead and saying that this actually is a war which is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's war. India has nothing to do. In fact, Prime Minister Modi time and again has said that this is the century when we should not be having wars.
Yeah, I mean, look, the characterization, I don't think many people in the world would agree with it. And the fact that, again, it's coming from somebody who's close to Trump, it also tells you that this is, again, I believe personally, is a pressure tactic, right? And it's to send the message to a lot of people who've been also questioning the fact that why India has been, sanctioned with additional 25% tariffs and why China has not been done so. And I think, it all is uncharted territory as far as what Peter Navarro has said. I mean, also kind of exemplifies the fact that, the relationship is definitely going through a downturn. Many still believe that at the end of the day, yes, things can happen, as Kevin Hess said this morning. But the fact that, Peter Navarro would double down on what he said 2 days ago to calling it Modi's war is, I think it's a new low. And, I do have a question for Bill, if it's still with us, Aishwarya, and if you don't mind me asking him a simple question. Is Bill with us? Oh, yeah. So Bill, if you can hear me, I read what you wrote, on the Sam Damdhan debate with at the Hudson paper, and where do you think this is going to end up? You basically, you and Aparna wrote this paper about Sam Damdhan debate. 4 ways of resolving this. What's your take on it? Where are we, and what can India do to resolve this at this point in time?
As you say, I think we're at a new low, unfortunately. My sense is that it looks very bleak, but at the end of the day, this administration takes big swings in both directions, and it's known for really dramatic reversals. So while it looks very bleak, I still think there is a window for a dramatic turnaround. And President Trump, he's a showman. Ultimately, he likes a dramatic turnaround. And historically, he's interpersonally liked Prime Minister Modi quite a bit. So I still think there's a possibility if the two leaders were to talk directly, I think there is scope to shift things around. And there are other factors at play here too. A reapproachment with China for India is not very sustainable in the long term. We've seen over and over that Pakistan is trying to court President Trump. Pakistan infamously is good at talking and bad at delivering. At some point, that's going to fall through. So I think there are other forces that will likely change the calculus here. But we're in a tough spot, and I think, again, this is an unusually personality-driven administration that is open to big changes and big reversals, especially between top leaders. So I think that's the best chance at success at this point.